How to make meatballs in tomato sauce. Hello and welcome to Videojug. Making your own baby food is a great way to introduce variety and nutrition into your baby's diet. Let Sian Blunos, author of Cooking for Coco, show you how to make meatballs in tomato sauce. Step 1. Make the meatballs.
So for the meatballs, you'll need some nice lean mince. I've got beef, but you can use pork or you could use lamb mince. We've got some fresh breadcrumbs. For this, I've just bought a loaf of white bread and put it into the food processor. So these are nice and fresh. We've got some diced shallots or onions, and you'll need a little bit of beaten egg, and that's just to bind the mixture together. Sprinkle a bit of the breadcrumbs. This helps bind the mix together as well. Some of the shallots. You don't need to season this, remember it's for children, so under a year I don't tend to season it. We can use all the herbs and spices to add flavour, and then just add a little bit of the egg at a time, and I use my fingers. You can use a wooden spoon, whichever you prefer. Just give it a good mix. If you wanted to, you could also do this in the food processor, but sometimes it does make the mix a bit gluey, so I just find it's very easy. You can just chop it up and do it with your hands. So the mix has come together nicely. I'm just going to make them into nice tiny little balls, ideal for children. They love picking up little things with forks or with their fingers. So the smaller the better really. So make sure they're even sizes because they do need to cook at the same time. Just make all this mix, this will take a little bit of time, into tiny little balls for them. So we just need to brown off the meatballs gently in hot oil. Just put them into a hot pan with some vegetable oil, and they just need to brown for about 2 or 3 minutes on each side. Once they're in, we just leave them. We don't move them around straight away, so they take the colour, and then they just we can start rolling them around. Now they're browning nicely, we can leave them for a few minutes and carry on with the sauce.
Step 2. Make the sauce.
For the tomato sauce, we have some tinned tomatoes, I have some chopped onion, herbs. You can either use fresh or dried herbs. These are dried with bay leaf. I love using oregano, thyme, and if you have basil, that's perfect with tomato. Bit of garlic and butter just to fry it off. Don't worry about adding garlic and herbs. It's good to get your children introduced to different flavours. We just need to add the butter to the pan, and then we gently fry off the onions with the garlic. It's very simple, this. You can buy ready-made sauces, but again, if you make it yourself, you know exactly what's gone into it, and there's no salt or sugar added. Take a few minutes to add the onions, add the tomatoes, add the bay leaf and the herbs, and leave that to simmer for about five minutes before adding the meatballs. Now you need to add the meatballs and leave to simmer for about 20 to 30 minutes so the meatballs are completely cooked. For the finished dish, I've used mashed potato. You could use rice or tiny little pasta shapes. For younger children, you can puree or just mash with a fork.
Meatballs in tomato sauce. Done.